I say this time and time again that when watching documentaries, I'm always looking to be, educated on a new subject matter or a person. And this one absolutely did this. And I know a lot of you all may know who she is already, but for me, I just got to tell you something. You will respect her by the end of this film. And I'm super excited to get into it. So let's jump into my review of the new film, Diane von Furstenberg, Women in Charge. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film Diane von Furstenberg, Woman in Charge, coming to Hulu June 25th. And not only is it coming to Hulu, but this film made its world premiere this year at Tribeca Film Festival 2024. And not only did it make its world premiere, it was the film on opening night. So like that alone just lets you know how big of a deal it is. And that's exactly why I wanted to go out the way to check this film out. Because, truth be told, I have never heard of Diane von Furstenberg at all, or DVF, as the brand would say. But I tell you, after watching this, man, I just got to say I have so much respect for everything that she's accomplished and everything that she's doing still now. She's a fashion icon, but she's also been somebody as a daughter of a Holocaust survivor, but just somebody who's used their entire existence and brand and platform to empower women. And while she has made a little celebrity for herself over time, make it very clear that nothing she was able to accomplish was either easy or a given. She was somebody who continued to bet on herself, and somebody, while doing so, ensured that she opened up doors for others to go to walk through. So, there's folks that's like, once I get my success, I'm good. But that was not DVF, and not at all, not one bit. But yeah, in this documentary, you're really, really, really going to get a lot. And I think from just understanding the challenges she had with like gender equality, again, being a child of a Holocaust survivor, moving around the world, even her really revolutionizing the fashion industry, and she's had a career over 50 years here, should I just add. But like, even with all of that, as I mentioned, she's always ensured that she wanted to open up doors for others and uplifting people all around the world, and just truly just being an example of a citizen or a human that makes the world a better place. So what dare I say about with all of that, because it sounds very noble, is that she also didn't play. Completely unapologetic for anything that she did. She was super bold and courageous and fierce, but truly a visionary, And her being a Jewish girl, she married a German prince. That right there is a statement that you just take a little bit of time and try to understand that that's how she rolled. She defied every bit of obstacles or norms that was ever set in front of her. But I think, like, even through that, though, I gotta make it very clear that the entire film, you just continue to praise all the decisions she makes, because she really did, like, she figured it out. When all was against her, she figured it out. And the what could be assumed as the controversial marriage with Prince Aegon, not anything related to Game of Thrones here or House of the Dragon, but that was a German prince. What does that look like for her, But even with all of that, though, her goal was always the focus of freedom. And with freedom wasn't just a status, it is a lifestyle. Diane was the inventor of the wrap dress. And that not only was just a big moment in her personal life, but this was absolutely a big moment in the fashion career, and the statement was truly made. And I mean, this not only was something that everybody wanted one, like everybody. And I mean, we in this documentary, we got interviews from Hillary Clinton, Oprah, Mark Jacobs, Deepak Chopra, like the big dogs came out to give their testimonies on this. And I will say that, like, when you really look at this at the bare minimum, she may be deemed as the first influencer, because that's essentially what she did when she came out with this dress and that style. Everybody wanted one. Whatever she did beyond that, people had their eyes set on what was going to be the next and latest and hottest new trend, you know? But as I mentioned, throughout all of this, she preached feminism everywhere and everything she did. But her goal, because as very unselfish as she is, or selfish as she is, I mean, it was always about the empowerment of generations of women. She always ensured that if she opened up the door, it was open for others to follow. And I also say that, like, she was never ever afraid. As I said, she was determined, but she was never afraid to go after what she wanted. You know, she had goals she wanted to accomplish. She went after them. If there was men, she went after them. I gotta tell you, this story that she told may be one of those stories, like, if you know, you know. But there was an opportunity where Mick Jagger and David Bowie offered her a threesome. And I mean, let's just call it what it is. They're the two biggest artists in the world at that time. I'm going to say 99% of the women are going to say yes. And she put her foot down and was like, no. And I mean, that's something to tell you just who she was as a person. Like, she wasn't just about this, you know, whatever the popularity or whatever it may have been. It's like, she was always very intentional about the actions she made throughout her life. And that was a very, very interesting story and component to this film, but also, like, it this only just strengthened the type of woman that they established she is throughout this film. Now, she also talks about, which is, you know, a little bit of a heartbreaking moment, about how AIDS casted a very dark period over her family. And throughout that period, you know, she lost so many friends, and that's, like, you know, personal friends in the industry, even including her dad. And, like, again, this is just like another challenge in her life, you know. And then her really speaking about her mother's story. Again, her mother is a Holocaust survivor, and just how much that has impacted her life. And I think, to the point of the accomplishments, you know, her measure of survival, but yet seeking peace, like, realizing just, like, who she is, and, like, really being open to talk about that. Because at a point, that may be a measure of, maybe the world doesn't need to know about that. Maybe that's not something that's going to benefit me. To her saying, like, this is my story, this is what I'm going to talk about here. So, like, yeah, throughout this, you're going to get stuff like that, key moments in her life, her relationship with her kids, who also are a part of this as well, too, in terms of the interview process. And then, like, you know, the turning moments when she had found out she had cancer, and how she even took something like that and made it motivational. So to come back to something a little bit more positive, is about her soulmate Barry. And, like, just her love life, man, is a story that at times you could just say, oh, she's a little bit of a rock star, but, like, no, it's nothing but inspirational. I think that, like, you know, when you know, and her story with Barry is such a sweet story, and Barry just seems such a stand-up guy. Somebody was just there for her throughout many years, despite the other decisions and things that she may have done, from, you know, living in different cities and trying to figure some things out. Barry was always there for her. So I gotta say that, like, it's a beautiful documentary. It's moving. It absolutely is going to draw its fans, you know, everybody who's familiar with DVF. but also I think for anybody who may just be curious about who she is, you know, the latest new watch on Hulu, or anybody who may be familiar with the rap dress but don't know the origins of the story, the person behind it, and what it took to accomplish that, but also how that just revolutionized everything in the fashion industry, and ultimately was bred the first influencer in DVF. Like, there's a lot you can get from this. So, you know, one thing about her, and the one thing I think that is as good as this is that she just wants to ensure that this motivates the next generation of women. She wants to ensure that women are on the forefront of things, and you know, even through her generations within her own family, she wants to ensure that the generations around the world, she wants to see progress for women. Her whole goal is to see things move forward for women. She done went through a lot in her life, and accomplished so much, but it will all be for nothing if we did not see women progress in life in terms of, again, gender equality, opportunity, all those sorts of different things, removing sexism out of the world. You know, this was what she stood for here. So it's a very, 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 very good documentary. Production and all that was good. I enjoyed it. But like, when you had DVF right there narrating her life and giving you her accounts and being her unapologetic self about it, I mean, it doesn't get more real than that. And that's why I enjoyed it. Like, I'll be the first to say, like, it wasn't like the most over the top fantastic production, but because of the subjects that were involved, because of the nature of the story, because of just like having her there and really being able to recount all of this and still thinking about others, how can you not root for her? How can you not root for her? So watch it all the way through the end, because even the end gives you a little bit of a chuckle, and it certainly will be worth your while. So, yep, check it out. Comes to Hulu June 25th. Diane von Furstenberg, Women in Charge. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about this one once you check it out. And as always, stick around here for more reviews and content very soon.